Lippert, you're the very best that Crane Securities has. I expect you to succeed where others have failed. Exactly. Now, a messenger's on his way to you as we speak. He has all the information I put together so far. It's not much, but it's a start. Now, needless to say, this assignment takes top priority, and it must be kept in the strictest confidence. No one can know about this. No one. Is that understood? Good. Now, I want you to contact me immediately if you discover anything about my son.
You mean me, Father, don't you? I'm your only son.
Hi.
Good morning, beautiful.
Good morning.
Hope you're feeling better now than you did last night. You know, less anxious.
I'm not sure how I'm feeling. I know I'm gonna have to face my mom and dad eventually, but I'm just not ready yet. They're being so unreasonable. They won't even try to see things from my point of view. It's like they have this idea of who I am and what they want my life to be about. And being with you or being a singer, it's not on the list. I wish they could see that I'm not a child anymore. That they would trust me enough to make my own decisions. That they would just let me have the life that I want to have, you know?
Whitney, what do you want?
I haven't sorted all that out just yet. But the one thing I am sure about is my feelings for you. I love you. And I know that I can't lose you.
Does that mean that you decided to come to LA with me?
You keep telling me to do the right thing. To let Miguel and Charity stay together, even though I am the one who's pregnant with this child.
Okay, Miguel loves Charity.
And I love Miguel. But you want me to deny my feelings and let my baby's father marry my cousin? You say that it's gonna be hard, but it's the right thing to do. But it comes to your lives, and it's do as I say, not as I do?
What are you talking about?
I am talking about your feelings for Ivy and Mom's feelings for David. You don't care about doing the right thing. It's just what's best for you. I mean, you are guilting David into lying to God about loving you because it's easier. I don't ever want to hear you criticize me again because what you are doing is far worse than anything I've ever done.
This should do it. This should break the Bennett bunch to bits.
You've got to marry Beth. You've got to just forget about me, forget about our love.
Sheridan, how can I forget about you? Come on, you're the one woman on this earth that I do want to marry. Sheridan.
It can't be. It can't be.
Yeah, Sheridan, yes, it can. Come on. I'm not gonna lose you. Sheridan, I love you.
Louise, I love you too, but you've got to forget about me. You've got to marry. You've got to marry.
Sheridan, Sheridan. Sheridan.
I would hold the hand of the one who could lead me places and kiss the lips of the one who could sing so sweet. And I would fly on the wings of the bird I knew could take me high as breathe in, breathe out. You keep me alive. You are the fire burning inside of me. You are my passion for life.
Still not knocking, I see.
Yeah. What was all that about? What information are you trying to get on me? Because if it's about my gambling debt, I tell you what.
What makes you think that I was talking about you?
Well, I overheard you say your son, and you know what? I'm your one and only.
It's not true. There's also little Ethan.
What information could you possibly want on a baby?
As you know, I'm trying to get Permanent sole custody of him? There's much involved to accomplish that.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not buying it. You weren't talking about little Ethan just then. You were talking about me. Why, Father? What are you up to?
Not up to anything, and if you were smart, you'd mind your own business, and that includes staying away from Whitney, Russell, and the rest of her family.
And why are you so animate about me staying away from Whitney?
Don't question me, Fox. Just do as I say.
You know what? I'm interested in Whitney because she's a beautiful woman, and she's got an amazing voice. But what's the deal with you and Whitney's mom? What were you two doing when I found you outside the Blue Note?
I told you to forget about that.
Why?
You know, curiosity killed the cat, and in your case, it might very well kill your inheritance. Ouch, indeed. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm a very busy man.
You know what? Don't worry. Okay, I'm leaving. What is it, Father? What's your connection to Dr. Russell?
Have you decided to come to LA with me?
I still haven't decided just yet. You know what you told me last night about keeping our relationship strong and not letting anything come between us? It made sense to me. And part of me is a little afraid that us being so far away from each other could cause problems for us. And I don't want that to happen.
Then come to LA with me. Look, we'll be together while you make your dream of being a singer come true.
Right, but my family really want me to just try.
I know. You promised your folks you'd wait 6 months. But I promise you, if you come to LA with me now, you won't regret it. You know I love you, right? That you're the one for me.
And I feel the same way about you, too.
But you're holding back because I think we need a little more time before we talk about marriage.
No. No, that's not it. I know that you're absolutely right. I mean, it's too soon for both of us to even be thinking about it.
Baby, I don't want to pressure you. I mean, you have enough pressure as it is. But you just said that the only thing that you knew for sure was your love for me. So trust in that love. It won't let you down. I need to overnight these to Kenesha, all right? I want to check in with you soon. I love you, Whitney.
And I love you, too. So much. Okay.
I cannot believe your hypocrisy. Guilting David into lying to God and the church by signing his annulment papers. Having him risk his soul going to hell just because it's easier for you.
Okay, I want you to stop it right now. You will not talk to your mother that way. Do you hear me?
Dad, it's true. She is so quick to find fault in everything I do. Why don't you just take a good look at yourself for a change? Dad, she thinks that I'm the selfish one and that I will do whatever it takes to get what I want no matter who gets hurt. You know, give me a break.
Kay, I really am so sorry that you feel this way.
No, you're not. You're sorry the truth is out. I am not the disgrace to this family. You are. You are not a saint, Mom. You are a sinner through and through.
Okay, that is enough.
Oh, you poor dear. Oh, why don't you sit down? I'll make you a nice cup of tea.
You know, I'm so sorry you had to witness that terrible scene in the living room just now.
Oh, please don't apologize. Oh, I'm only sorry you had to hear all those dreadful things that Kay said about you. I really don't know what got into the girl.
Well, maybe she was just being honest. Maybe I really am a hypocrite.
Stop it, Grace. Listen to such rubbish. I was shocked when I heard Kay call you a hypocrite. Everyone knows that you're the nicest, sweetest, kindest person in Harmony. You're always thinking of other people and doing what's best for them. You never put your own interests ahead of anyone else's. No, Kay was very, very wrong to call you a selfish, self-serving shrew. Why, you're a model mother, always setting a perfect example for your children, even the 3 illegitimate ones you had with Sam. It's too bad there aren't more mothers like you, if you ask me. And so many young people wouldn't end up being knocked up and screwed up like Kay.
You know, I can't believe what you've done. Your mother is in the kitchen crying her eyes out because of you.
No. She's in there boo-hooing because of the truth that I made her face. She is a hypocrite, Dad. And I'm sick and tired of her making it look like I am the bad seed in this family. What she is making David do is far worse than anything I have ever done. And maybe you just don't want to see that. Because her double standard is what's helping you get rid of the competition.
I'm not gonna make this situation any worse than it already is. So I'm gonna go outside and get some fresh air. We'll talk once I can look at you and not see red.
Kay, I know you're hurting right now.
What the hell is wrong with you people? Why are you just sitting around doing nothing while I do all the work? Excuse me?
What are you talking about?
You want my father and you want my mother. So why am I the only one trying to break apart their marriage? Why are you two homewreckers just waiting?
It's a good thing you called me.
Are Sheridan and the baby gonna be okay?
For the moment, she's sleeping, and that's just what she needs. She is physically and emotionally exhausted.
Last night must have finally gotten to her.
What do you mean?
Well, Sheridan and I were determined to tell Antonia the truth about us, and that the baby she's carrying may be mine, and well, before we could tell him, Beth let it slip that she's pregnant too.
By you?
You see, a while ago, Sheridan and I, we broke things off. Then later, Beth called. You know, she called me over to her place to fix a leaky pipe, and I had a couple of beers, and the next thing I know, we'd made love.
Oh, Louise.
Beth says it's up to me whether or not she has an abortion or we get married. And Sheridan thinks that she thinks I should be with Beth and her baby.
That means you'd never be able to be with Sheridan again.
Yeah.
God, what a mess.
Tell me about it. Well, Sheridan's just trying to deal with the situation with Antonio and whoever it is that's out to kill her, and now she's got to deal with this bombshell of Beth and her baby.
Oh, that would explain it. That is why her stress level is so high. I mean, it's high for a normal person under normal circumstances, much less somebody that's pregnant. Louise, she has to rest. She has to have peace and quiet. And I'm afraid if she does it, not only could she lose her baby, she could die herself.
I'm aware it was over 20 years ago, but surely the hospital still has the employment records of the doctors and nurses on staff at the time. Yes, that is the date I gave you, the date of baby Johnson's birth. I want to know who was on duty in the maternity ward that day. Yes, well, either I or my representative, Mr. Lippert, will be in touch with you for that information. Thank you. Good morning, my luscious passion flower.
I slept alone last night, Julian. Where were you?
Well, I got home so late from the Blue Note that I just went straight to bed in my own room. I didn't want to disturb your beauty sleep. Not that you need it, of course, my pet.
Yes, well, I was already disturbed. You see, I get that way when my fiancé deserts me at a supper club. I mean, no, I'll be right back, Rebecca. No, go on home, get the donkeys ready. No, nothing. What's going on, Julian?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Liar. Why won't you show me what you're doing here on the computer, huh? Julian, I want to know where you were last night and who you were with.
I'm already so late for Professor Plevin's lecture. Might as well not even go. Oh, Chad must have left his key. Fox.
Whitney, hey. I actually came by to see Chad. I thought maybe he could bring me up to speed, the way things go around here.
Oh, I'm sorry, he's not here right now.
Oh. Well, like they say, timing is everything, right? Well, hey, look, you know, I bought Chad a cup of coffee. You're more than welcome to it, as long as you don't feel like I'm giving you leftovers.
Oh, not at all. Of course, come on in.
Thank you. And one for you.
Thank you very much. You know, thanks again for everything that you did for us last night. You know, I haven't known you that long, but you're turning out to be a really good friend.
Well, I want to be your friend, Whitney. I mean, you know, yours and Chad's.
Cool.
Poor Grace. Your sister burns to a crisp. So you take in your niece, Charity, and love her as your own. And then Kay goes and gets preggers by Charity's beau. So now your own daughter is attacking you for supporting true love. And not just Charity and Miguel's true love, but yours and Sam's as well. It's not your fault David Hastings loves you so much that he's willing to risk eternal damnation by signing the annulment papers. Heavens, no. Or in David's case, hell yes.
Tabitha, would you mind giving us a moment alone?
Oh, yes, of course. I think I made her feel quite a bit better.
Grace, I don't want you to listen to what Kay says, okay? Because she's wrong.
But what if she isn't, Sam?
Of course she is.
Look, Sam, you know, I have come down so hard on Kay for being dishonest and for trying to come between Charity and Miguel. And yet, here I am letting David lie to the church, to God. You know, I'm being dishonest and I'm encouraging him to be dishonest too.
Grace, our situation is different from Kay's.
But what if she's right? I mean, aren't we just making excuses, you know, to justify taking the easy way out of a difficult situation?
I mean, what is the matter with you people? David, how could you agree to sign the annulment papers? And Ivy, how could you just sit there in your little four-wheeler and let him?
My God, you really want to destroy your own parents' marriage?
Don't play innocent, David. I know that Ivy hired you to come into town to break them up. So why am I the one doing all the work? Ivy, you're paying him way too much.
Okay, we've been all through this. You don't have any proof that David and I are in cahoots.
Okay. Go ahead and deny it. I really don't care. But can you just get with the program? Because I cannot do this by myself, you know.
What kind of child deliberately tries to destroy their own parents' marriage?
The kind that has been judged and condemned by her own mother one time too many. She always takes everyone else's side over mine, and it is time that she gets a mega dose of her own medicine.
You're an evil kid.
Yeah, like I haven't heard that before. Look, just remember, I am helping you and the Iron Maiden here get what you want. So how about getting off the sidelines and back into the game? Benchwarmers do not live happily ever after. You got that?
Can you believe her?
Kay's right. We can't count on her to tear apart Sam and Grace. We have got to do something, and we have got to do it right away.
You are my passion for life.
Brava, dear, brava. Your performance hit Grace where it hurt the most, right in her ooey-gooey conscience.
So, do you think it's enough to make her tell David not to sign the annulment papers?
Well, we're definitely making progress. I was just in the kitchen pretending to console her. Poor woman. She's mired in a moral quandary, wondering whether you're right about her being a hypocrite.
Well, when she decides she is, then I win.
Well, not if your father has anything to do with it. He's in the kitchen right now, having a heart-to-heart with her. Oh, she loves your father so much, and she just wants to be with him. So, he may be able to convince her that allowing David to lie about the annulment is okay, because it's David's choice.
If my parents end up being the happy couple again, then they'll have all the time in the world to keep Charity and Miguel together. Tabitha, that just won't do. The only chance I have of being with Miguel is if my parents are too busy dealing with their own breakup to worry about my sappy cousin and poor deluded Miguel.
Kay is right. This is our last chance. We have got to take advantage of her blow to make sure Sam and Grace don't reunite. But what are we gonna do? You're about to sign those annulment papers, and I'm going to get the boot out of Sam's house.
Ivy, can't you see the bottom line here? Sam and Grace love each other. They are committed to saving their marriage. And now that Grace has decided not to stop me from signing the annulment papers, there's nothing we can do, including Kay's theatrics. They're gonna keep the inevitable from happening. Just face it. You've lost Sam. I've lost Grace.
Sam, is Kay right? I mean, are we taking the easy way out at the expense of other people?
Grace, we're trying to save our marriage, hold our family together. And sometimes, like now, the end justifies the means.
But does it, Sam? I mean, isn't that just what people say to get what they want? I mean, are we doing the right thing?
Grace, do you love me?
Sam, with all my heart.
Then I love you too. And I don't care what we have to do to keep our love safe. We are fighting for our future together, and our marriage, our family. Our love is the most important thing to me. And if you feel the same way, we have nothing to worry about.
That's probably Chad right now. Come on.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's my mom. I definitely don't want to talk to her after everything that happened last night at the Blue Note. Plus, she's probably furious with me because I came here to be with Chad last night.
Well, don't worry about it.
No.
Wait.
Crane Recording Studio.
Chad?
No, he's not here. This is Nicholas Foxworth Crane. May I help you?
Oh, Fox, I didn't recognize your voice. It's Eve Russell.
Well, that's okay. I can always forgive a pretty lady like yourself.
You're very sweet. Anyway, I'm looking for Whitney. A friend of hers at college is a little worried about her. Is she there?
Is Whitney here? Well, I wish I could tell you that she was, but I can't.
Well, maybe she's out with Chad.
Or maybe she's just late for class.
Yes, I suppose.
Tell you what, I'm gonna be working here a while, and if I run into Whitney, I will tell her that you called.
Thank you, Fox.
You bet. Whitney, your mom called.
I can't believe you just did that. Well, thank you. Again.
Well, that's what friends are for. So, do you know when Chad's going to LA?
No, not really. I mean, the record company he signed with wants him out there as soon as possible. But he still has some stuff to finish up here. But I'm not sure when he's gonna go.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm still kind of getting to know Chad. But, he seems like a pretty stand-up guy. So, I'm sure he's gonna do fine out there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a dream come true for him.
Sure. So what are you gonna do once he leaves? I mean, what, for 6 months? I mean, until you know, move out there.
Actually, I'm kind of thinking of going with him now.
Oh, well, that's not a good idea.
I want to know where you disappeared to last night.
Oh, my darling, I didn't disappear. I merely stepped outside the Blue Note to get some fresh air. Then when I returned, the bartender said that you'd left to go home.
I waited for hours, Julian. How much air does one man need?
Oh, speaking of air, is it getting warm in here? Or is it just you?
I know what you're doing, and it is not going to work. You are up to something.
Well, I might be with a little help from you, dear.
But save it! There is something funny going on here, and I want to know what it is.
Becky, you're making mountains out of molehills. I really did just step outside the Blue Note to get some fresh air.
Fine. You're saying you're being honest about that. Let's be honest about our future. When are we going to get married? Do you want to set a date?
Oh, Rebecca, please give me some time. I've only just extricated myself from that sham of a marriage with a housekeeper's daughter, and I'm trying to get sole permanent custody of the son I had with her. But please, let me get my ducks in place before I jump into wedded bliss with you, my swan-necked beauty.
Jump into it? But do you know how long I've waited to be Mrs. Julian Crane? No, and thanks to me and my informant, you are finally rid of Teresa, and Ivy is long gone. So it is my turn to be Mrs. Julian Crane, and I am not going to be put off.
Put off? I think you've misconstrued my intentions.
Oh, really? Well, let me make my intentions perfectly clear here. You see, you are going to marry me, and you are going to marry me soon. Because I know far too much about you, like that you tried to have Sheridan killed by blowing up her boat. You know, little things like that. So, if you decide to ditch me at this late date, I will bring you down like the Hindenburg. Capiche?
Everything okay with Whitney?
We're just going through a rough patch right now. I'm sure it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
We just make sure Sheridan gets a lot of rest and try not to let anything upset her.
Well, things were hard enough when Sheridan and I had to tell Antonia the truth about us and the fact that the baby she's carrying might be mine. Well, now we got to deal with best pregnancy to boot. You know, sometimes I feel like, like there's this force out there that's trying to keep us apart. But I'm not going to let it. Now, Sheridan's the love of my life, and I'm not going to lose her. But if I need to take a step back to relieve some pressure on her, I'm going to do it, okay? If anything ever happened to Sheridan and her baby, she'd never get over it. Neither would I.
I don't know how anyone does. Losing a baby, that's gotta be the worst thing ever.
You never do get over it. You just try and live with the pain. I'll come back later and check on Sharon.
Thank you.
Oh, if only I knew where my son was.
So, does my little Pookie understand his little Becky Wecky? See, we are going to get married. And soon. Or I'll have to go public with all the dirt I have on you, and then, well, you'll be in jail for a very long time. Of course, with your good looks. Oh, you could get to be the bitch at the inmates' ball. Oh, I'm gonna go get a massage. I trust that when I return, you'll be in a marrying mood.
Thought of unholy matrimony with Rebecca gives me a migraine. Julian Crane. Oh, Lippard, I didn't expect to hear. Are you sure this information is accurate? Yes. Yes, do. And thank you. You're a credit to Crane Securities. Goodbye. God. This changes everything.
Kay? Well, I'm sorry that you're upset over what your mother and I are trying to do to save our marriage. But we aren't hypocrites, trying to take the easy way out. We're two people in love, trying to get our lives back on track without any outside interference. That's why I'm insisting that Ivy move out, and your mother is giving David permission to sign the annulment papers. We're doing everything we can to keep our family together.
I told you, there's nothing more we can do.
Yes, there is. Don't sign the annulment papers.
I can't do that. I already gave my word. Besides, Sam would be suspicious. Just face it, Ivy. We've lost. Sam and Grace are gonna be together.
Grace, I've lost you. You've got to marry her. You've got to marry Beth.
No. Sharon, you haven't lost me. Things are gonna work out between us. I promise.
Okay. Despite what you feel right now, I really do love you. I'm just trying to do what's best for everybody.
If that's what you have to tell yourself to sleep at night, be my guest.
Kay, I meant what I said. Now, we've made our decision, and it's final.
Fine. But you know, I never want to hear you lecture me on honesty or morality again.
Kay.
So, you want me to sign the papers?
The sooner the better.
All right, well, I'll keep my appointment with Father Lonergan, and I'll sign them right away.
want to be just like you, Mom.
No, sweetie. Then never sacrifice honesty or truth to get what you want, okay? Because the cost to your character and the stain on your soul will never be worth what you get in return.
No, David. Oh, no, you can't. You can't sign the annulment papers.
So, why don't you think it's a good idea if I move to LA with Chad?
You know what, Whitney? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said anything. It's none of my business.
No, Fox, it's okay. No, I want you to tell me what you think.
Okay. Well, how tight are you two anyway?
Well, we're in love, Fox.
So, Chad's the kind of guy that would commit to you then?
Well, Chad is completely committed to me, of course.
Oh, good. So you're talking about marriage then?
No. I mean, Chad thinks that, you know, it's a little too soon for us to take a big step like that. And, I mean, we're both pretty young, so.
So then you're okay with waiting?
That would be perfect for Whitney.
Julian, have you lost your mind?
Eve, I have news, glorious news. I think I found our son.
Our marriage is over, Grace. Everything that we ever had is over.
What are you saying? Are you saying that you found our son?
Chad's the only man that I've ever loved.
I will find a way to make you forget about Chad, Whitney.
NBC next Monday, Three's Company. It was America's favorite comedy.
The ratings are huge.
But behind the comedy
Let's try it with John and Joyce behind the sofa. We're not Suzanne's set dressing.
was a whole lot of drama.
You want $150,000 an episode.
Your husband is gonna ruin your career.
The Three's Company the audience never saw.
She can't sign a deal with a rival network.
I don't want stardom. I want superstardom.
Behind the camera, the unauthorized story of Three's Company. NBC next Monday, 9/8 Central.